You may have never sat through the entire 8 seasons of Game of Thrones or flipped open George R.R. Martin's novels. Perhaps fictional kingdoms bore you, or perhaps you simply missed the warnings embedded in Westeros's cautionary tales. But if you had paid attention to that fantasy epic, particularly to the character of Aerys Targaryen, the Mad King who ruled impulsively and unpredictably, you would recognize his modern-day American version. His name is Donald Trump.
No way!
And his second term as president has transformed the White House into a throne room where the world holds its breath with absolute anxiety. The Mad King of Westeros was defined by a single terrifying quality. More often or not, he acted like a child denied candy. He burned his enemies alive. He trusted no one. He reversed decisions based on rage rather than reason. He saw the world in black and white, those loyal to him and those who deserved destruction. Historians in Martin's world noted that Aerys believed the throne granted him the right to do anything. Consequences be damned. Sound familiar? Well, George R.R. Martin himself has drawn this parallel, comparing Trump to King Joffrey, another tyrannical character ruled by unchecked ego and entitled fury. When Trump lashed at a journalist's tough question in 2020, declaring, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm the President of the United States," the echo of yet another Game of Thrones mad rulers, Joffrey's huffy cry, "I am the king," was unmistakable. Both believed their titles were magic wands that suspended the rules binding ordinary men. Both saw rule of the land and constitutional constraints as quaint annoyances. But the Trump administration's foreign policy moves in 2026 reveal something far more disturbing than mere tantrums. They reveal a doctrine of raw, unfiltered power deployed with dizzying inconsistency, the hallmark of a truly chaotic ruler. Consider the whirlwind of January alone. Trump authorized a daring military operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in the dead of night, dragging him to New York for trial, and then calling himself the acting president of Venezuela. In fact, days later, he demanded he will have Greenland. Then he withdrew the United States from 66 international organizations, dismantling climate accords and multilateral frameworks built over decades. When an Iran intervention seemed imminent, Trump abruptly reversed course, declaring victory for a halt in executions he had once promised to prevent. This is not foreign policy. This is utter madness at play. Decisions reversed on whim, threats levied without strategy, alliances treated as disposable commodities, and it's a world where Trump treats allies as mere ATMs that must pay protection money and abandons all moral pretense about democracy promotion. Trump's approach strips away decades of American diplomatic scaffolding and replaces it with radical realism, a euphemism for doing whatever maximizes his perceived victory in the moment. When outcomes look clean, he acts unilaterally. When consequences loom uncertain, he pivots and claims triumph anyway. Allies no longer trust American commitments. Russia and China have grown emboldened, coordinating military operations with confidence that Trump will either stay out or exit when bloodied. It's true that the world is not Westeros, and there are no dragons or wildfire. But there is nuclear weaponry, alliance systems propping up global stability, and millions of lives dependent on American restraint and consistency. A Mad King's foreign policy may work in fantasy. In reality, it sows the seeds of the very chaos he claims to prevent. And unlike fiction, this story has no editor to write it toward justice. We are all living through its unpredictable chapters.